Hello, everyone. We are the superstars of the internet, Nancy and Kacey, with our 26 followers that we
Yes.
love each and every one. This is so much fun.
The truth is, we are so excited to have 26 followers, and we invite you, if you're watching and want to keep just as followers is all it means, folks, is just click subscribe and you'll get a notice each time we post a show.
Yes.
So that's what that means. And we're having a great time, believe in what we're doing, and love sharing it with all of you.
Yeah. So we've been talking about Nancy's 10 ingredients of change. 10 ingredients of change, 10 ingredients for
I
change.
know one could add, it goes back and forth, but there are 10 ingredients involved in change.
All right. Do you want to recap the first five that we did last time?
Yeah, and Kacey, I'm going to set it up just a wee bit more. Here we are. We're recording on Tuesday, December 29th with Tucker.
With Tucker.
With
Tucker
Tucker.
joined the party.
And so we're advancing toward New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And we know that to some extent or other, many of us set a resolution. And we're not here to talk about setting resolutions, I know. But we are talking, resolutions, Kacey, usually involve change, don't they? We want to change something about ourselves or the way we live or the way we treat people or the way we manage our money, but it's all about change. So, um, change is work. Change is not magical. It is not a wish. It can start with a wish, and
Mhm.
I like that notion. But once we start knowing what we want to change, yeah, I'm going to review the first five we talked about in, I guess it was program number 6. This is program 8. Um, awareness. Awareness would be that we want to change, awareness of something being a problem for us.
Mhm.
Willingness would be our real willingness to change that. And it's interesting. Eating is an easy example always to throw up. So I don't mean to dwell on eating necessarily, but I can say I'd like to eat less. I'd like to weigh less. Let's just say I'd like to eat less. Let's say I'd like to be fitter. I really like that language better.
Mhm.
And so that's my, and then I realize how willing am I to do what it takes to be fitter. And so I have to assess my willingness. And I may not find that I'm 100% willing. I may
Mhm.
find that, oh, that means I set aside time every day, 30, 45 minutes to exercise in some way. So I want to look at my willingness. And then the third one is intentionality. And that is if I find that I'm aware and I find that I have willingness that keeps moving me forward, that I want to keep it in mind. I want to
Right.
be intentional. You've shared great examples of ways you keep your intentionality cooking there, notes and post-its and signs and
Constant. I have to keep everything in front of me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
I fall off track very easily.
We absolutely do, Kacey. I can start the day with an awareness and a willingness, and a phone call can come,
Hmm.
and I'm starting to slip off of that track. Now I'm going to slip off that track, but what I want to do is have enough intentionality that at some
You bring
point I
it
go,
back.
no, wait a minute, regroup, regroup, regroup. What is it that I'm trying to do or to change?
Mhm.
Awareness, willingness, intentionality. So then, in order to make those changes, Kacey, the next two are self education and skill building. Often, if I need to make a change, I actually have to learn more about myself
Mhm.
and understand myself a little bit better. And then I have to build skills to be able to. And I mean, skills, I'm going to skip over self education here for a minute, but let's talk about skills. For me, a lot of skills these days sometimes fall into the IT, into technology.
Right.
Okay. Even when I got my new Fitbit that you guys have heard me chat about, I let it sit in a box for a month because I knew that I had to get my head into, and those of you much younger than me or who are smoother with IT can laugh, but I knew that I had to get my head into how to charge it and get it synced with my
Mhm.
phone. And those are skills to me. I mean,
Right.
those absolutely are. As I said to you, I've got a better camera and microphone waiting for me to open them for these podcasts.
Mhm.
I'm going to devote a whole day
Right. And you're
towards.
ahead of me because my Fitbit is in a drawer. I found it when I was looking for an extension cord to the Christmas lights. I'm like,
Right.
oh, there it is.
So, so Kacey, does the skill building thing keep you? I mean, is that part of why you don't pick it up? It's like, oh, I
Absolutely.
can't just put it on like a bracelet.
I have too many things to learn. And for me, the Fitbit came way at the end of the list.
Right.
I my head is filled with things, especially IT things, computer things, phone things,
Right.
microphone things. That I knew that was never going to become part of my life. It's too hard for me.
Right. Until the day comes. Now I'm going to use it as we do. We have such great examples that flow through us. So the day came that I was ready. I wanted the Fitbit because the change I wanted to make with being more fit would be helped by that. And so all of a sudden, getting that my skill set up moved way up the list is
Mhm.
what happened.
Right.
It moved way up the list. So I just want everybody to understand that, you know, the more the skill is related to the change we want to make, you know, it'll move up the list if it can help. If it can help.
Right.
So let go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
just gave up carbs.
Okay.
I put my
Well,
Fitbit in the drawer and
we
gave up
all are
carbs
amazed. We are amazed. That's
because that was easier for me.
I follow you. I follow
Yeah.
you. And see, I think that goes into self-education. I wanted
Right.
to chat about that being the fourth one. That is that was the more accessible path for you, and you knew that about yourself. So you went with that.
Yeah.
And you know, that's good. You still probably have to have some way that you follow carbs. I don't know if it's reading a box. I mean, we all know where they are for the most part, but
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
I just gave them up.
yeah. Okay, zero. Yes, got it, got it.
Just
Yeah,
I'm
and
done.
so for me, when I know I'm going to go into the IT thing, which I know self-education that I'm going to run into my impatience. Okay. And so, in order to make the change, in order to have a better picture on this podcast, everybody,
Mm.
and I hear that the microphone my dear daughter sent me is going to really be great. I know that I have to be patient, and I know my patience will be challenged. And
Right.
I know that I know how to handle those. So, those are the five, Kacey.
Yeah.
Awareness. Yeah.
And and the fact that there are 10 ingredients of change should should let everybody know that change isn't easy. It isn't easy, and we got to be gentle with ourselves when we're trying to make a change, I
We
think.
want to be gentle and very present with ourselves as we do it. But Kacey, again, I'm going to build on what you're saying about gentleness and jump to our new one today.
Okay.
And if we'll go as far as we can today with it, and if our time limits that we have today stop, we'll continue in the
Right.
next show with more. But self-regard is number 6. And I, in preparing for us to be together today, I read what I wrote about it, and I like it. We don't talk about self-regard enough. So if you and the
Please.
viewers are, I'm just gonna read this little paragraph on it. Self-regard. To be able to stay on our healing path, it's beneficial to maintain our self-regard as we work toward change. This means that we care enough about ourselves to ensure that we consider ourselves and our interests as we move through the day. It means keeping ourselves front and center as we make decisions about how to spend our time and resources. This does not mean we are selfish, rather, that we are able to keep a balance in care for self and care for others. It means we intentionally put ourselves in the formula as plans and decisions are made. What would be best for you? How could that fit with what you need to do for you? We do this not just because we are, in fact, a variable in the equation, but also because we care about ourselves. We have a warm regard for ourselves, and we want to remember that and tend to it.
That's beautiful. You should write a book or a half dozen. Um, Nancy, how, let me put it this way. Did you always have a warm regard for yourself?
No, Kacey, I don't even know that I knew myself in that way. I mean, it is a really it's really an attending to ourselves. It's weaving back to attachment theory stuff. It's having being tuned into me and caring about me. Kacey, I don't know. Somehow, I don't know that we're hardly taught to care about ourselves, and we don't have to swing out to, how come we don't? But no, it's a cultivated thing, and I mean, it is the putting myself to bed when I am tired.
Mhm.
It is giving myself a break when I shouldn't add one more thing on it. It is treating myself like I would a child.
Right, right, right. With all of the shows I do and all of the women's retreats and things that I do, this number 6 in your 10 ingredients of change. Self-regard is the biggest, most light flashing topic of all.
Yeah.
So many women, and probably men too, but I work primarily with women, need to be reminded to like themselves, need to be asked on a scale of 1 to 10, how kind are you to you? One of the things I do at my retreats. I don't think I've ever shared this with you. I ask people to tell me what their love is like. What is your love like? Describe it to us as if it's a thing. One that I remember, a woman said, "My love is like a coconut. It is hard and scary looking on the outside, but when I open up and let you in, it is sweetness and light." So I'll
Oh,
ask women, "What is your love like?" And I say, "Mine is like a Rottweiler puppy. When I love, it's with excitement, it's with slobber, it's with kisses. I'll probably wet my pants a little. I get so excited like a Rottweiler puppy. And there's
got it.
also great energy there, right?"
Right.
And then we'll go around the room and everybody will compare. I love like chicken soup. I love like a warm blanket. And
Yeah.
then I ask, "And how do you treat yourself? How do you love you? Is it the same coming back as it is going out?" And I
Hmm.
usually get a few tears and blank stares that it never crossed their mind.
Right.
Women should love themselves, or people should love themselves the way they love other things. Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
self-regard.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a beautiful story. Let me not, that's a great exercise.
Use it, steal it.
And yeah, and I invite the listeners to use that yourself. I mean, to stop and think, how is your love expressed? What is your love like? And do you share it with yourself in those ways? Um, yeah, no, I mean, I think this goes back. Now I'm gonna sound so sort of technical. We grow up and we live in such externally focused ways, Kacey. The list, the other people, who needs what, who's waiting for us. You and I both have careers that have people waiting for us. You're on
Mhm.
the clock all the time. I mean, you watch, but I have to watch the clock very much with what all that's external. There's almost no time and space for this shifting and coming back in a soothing, comforting way
Mhm.
to self, unless we intentionally decide that's what we want to do. And you know what? I think that the changes we're talking about really genuinely spring from the self-regard. That
Mhm.
if we genuinely are kind, I'm picking up words I've used, kind and care for ourselves and loving toward ourselves and really mean it, the change is really more solidified. The likelihood of it is greatly increased because
Absolutely.
it's coming from that beautiful internal. I'm going to play with the coconut foundation.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. I
Yeah.
like the coconut very much.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. That's a good one. So we just have 3 minutes left because we're really on a tight time limit
Yeah.
this time. But number 6 in your 10 ingredients: awareness, willingness, intentionality, self education, skill building, self regard. And then we're going to move on to the next 4, probably next week. But before I let you go, Nancy L. Johnston, author of Disentangle, um, tell us what your love is like.
Hmm. I have a natural sort of passionate energy that I'm very excited would be. It's not an image, it's more, although a carnival with bright lights and fireworks comes to my mind. And some of it is a natural gift. I am easily enthused. I am easily charmed. I am easily excited and pleased, and not in misled ways, in genuine ways. And so let's think of a carnival with fireworks. Okay, so
Mhm.
I'll leave that image. The but is if we apply it to what we're doing today, which is the second part of your invitation, is my recovery has helped me to feel those types of fireworks and carnival, delight of color and energy. My recovery has helped me to feel that more about myself. I certainly um, haven't always been that way and need to intentionally tune in to that for myself.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would cast you as Mrs. Fezziwig.
Remind me who she is.
Google it.
Right. Okay. I
You,
will. And
Mrs.
everybody Google it.
Fezziwig.
I know. I feel like, okay, I
You
will.
know it. It'll come to you. All right. Our time is up. So we'll see you next week.
Kacey, we sure will. And we'll continue helping with these changes we want to
Mhm.
bring in the new year.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye, my friend.
Bye.